So, right, so the first card you've got for your past is the Hermit. So, yeah, obviously this is about reflection, thinking over things, being by yourself, literally, spiritual things. You've got lots of spirituality in this card, lots of kind of quiet, reflective cards. You've got the Star, Four of Swords, this one, King of Cups. He's very reflective. He's just sitting there by himself. He's got all this water around him, but he's just sitting there, and that's right in the center. So he's reflective. He's not taking action. He's not doing anything. So I've got all that spirituality and all that reflective and all that resting and all that sitting, meditating, all that kind of thing there. It's all over this reading. And I've also got a lot of heaviness here as well. So I think there's a message for you that you need to do that if that's you. You need a break, because I've got this kind of very overwhelming feeling here. So if this is you, it might be a work break you need to take. It might be that you have to take a break from work for a while. You might, for some people here, you might actually be forced into that, because I'm seeing, some health problems here for someone. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen. This is in the past for you. So either it's happened and you are taking a break and you're a little bit worried about money, because there aren't any pentacles on this in this whole spread. So you might be thinking, I have to take a break. How's the money going to come in? Am I going to lose money? Is this going to reflect badly on me if I leave work and, for whatever reason, for health reasons, might be mental health reasons, it might be physical health, I don't know. But it's like, that's the worry around me. Should I do this? Should I not do this? So I think some people who are listening to this, they've taken a break from work, or they're going to do that. Some people might actually be forced to do that here. Because it just becomes too much. Very, very stressful. There's a lot of stress around you. You've got the Nine of Swords down there. And you've got the Death card. I'm not saying you're going to die, don't worry. But it's like, I can't keep doing this. I'm going to just drop dead. I'm going to lie down, not literally again, but it's so much for me and my back's going to break. I have to stop. I'm getting all that kind of feeling there. So if you're forced to take a break, or if you are taking a break, it's the right thing for you to do. You've got all these peace, rest cards all over this spread. So don't feel guilty, because someone's feeling guilty about that. They're thinking, well, I shouldn't be doing this. I should just soldier on. I should keep going. No, don't do that. You need this peace. You need this break. It's what you need. You physically need this for someone. Someone needs to take a break. Absolutely. So I think you might go back to this same place eventually, or to something similar if that's you. I don't think you've totally left your job, or it might be if you have left your job, you're going to go back to something similar. But what I'm getting for someone here is, if you do go back to something similar, or if you go back to the same job, I think that time away, it's going to be a really reflective time for you. And I think it's going to make you realise, no, actually, I don't want to go in this direction anymore. I want to go in a totally new direction. And it might be that you're kind of taking this break right now and you're thinking, well, I don't know where I want to go. I know I don't want to go back to this stress anymore. It's really too much for me. But what am I going to do? What would I do? There's nothing else I can do. I don't know. And so getting that time of reflection, getting that rest, I think that's going to bring a lot of ideas into you. And I think this is the start of a big flow, a big change for you, a big change in direction. So, it might feel like the worst time for you right now, actually. It might be, I'm so stressed. I don't know when the money's going to come in. I'm physically ill, or whatever the problem is. This is my lowest. It's the absolute worst. If that's you, I'm really sorry you're feeling like that. But what I have to say to you is, this is the start of you coming up again. Bouncing back again. It's a bit like a bouncing ball. When you bounce a ball, it goes all the way down, but then it lifts up higher than when it started. It bounces up again. And I think that's what you're going to do. You're going to rise up again. So you're going to rise up from where you are again. You're going to bounce back again. But what you need to do first is you need to clear your head. You need to get that time to yourself. You need to try and relax, you need to meditate if you can, and then those ideas are going to come in. And I think for you, if this is all resonating with you, it's going to take time for that to happen, because your head feels very stressed. There's a lot going around in there right now. That's why you're in this position, if that's you. So you're going to have to do what you can to rest your head. And when you've done that, when you feel a little bit more rested, a little bit better, it might be time for you to do something like do some automatic writing. And what that is, you don't have to, this is just my idea. It's an idea for getting the ideas in for this change interaction. Just sit down and write anything. Just write, I don't know why I'm writing this. This is crazy. What am I doing? This is boring. Just anything that comes into your head. And eventually, what's in your heart is going to come up eventually. And so just keep that, don't look at it, put it away, maybe come back to this in a week's time, look at it again, maybe keep doing it, just writing without thinking. And that's a really good way to get all the mess out of your head, everything that's cluttering up your head out of the way, and then the real ideas will come out. So that's an idea for you to do, that's something for you to think about. If you don't want to do that, just meditate, and I think the ideas will come. And I'm seeing that in the Four of Swords down there, bottom right. That's what he's doing. He's lying there, he's just resting, whatever he's doing. There's this beautiful stained glass window up there in the corner, and that's all about spirituality. That's about it's about the spiritual ideas, the real ideas coming in, the right ideas coming in, your spiritual path coming in. And so that's what he's doing. He's waiting for the right time. When he opens his eyes, he's going to see that stained glass window. That's what's going to happen to you after this time of rest. However you do this, it's going to take time, but after a while you open your eyes and you'll see this beautiful stained glass window. That's your path. You'll see where you need to go. I'm getting that really clearly for someone, and you're going to go on a totally new path here, totally new direction when it comes to your work. And I think that's going to change your mind, your spirit, maybe even your appearance. Lots of things about you are going to start to change, and it's time for you. You need this, but you need to give yourself that rest first. It's what you need if that's you. Okay. Well, this isn't like you, but I'm getting this feeling of revenge here. It feels like revenge. I'm really angry. It's not fair. That's what I'm getting. And yeah, again, it's not like you. It's not like you to want revenge, but I don't think you'll act on that if that's what you're feeling, or that's how you were feeling. This is in the past, but someone got away with something. Yeah, they definitely got away with something. And yeah, they got away with a lot, actually. Yeah, this is an ex-love connection, I think. Yeah, I'm surprised the Seven of Swords isn't here, actually, but it's not. So, okay, this is what I'm getting. Someone really hurt you. They did something to you. Really, really terrible. This is an ex-love connection. And then I think what happened was they moved on to someone else. And they were doing the same thing to them. Because I'm getting this... I'm sitting back and I'm watching this. They did this to me, and they're doing it to you now. So what they did to you, they're doing to someone else, or they were. And what I'm getting is, if this is you, you're sitting back and watching this. It was like you're watching a movie, and you knew what was going to happen in their life. You could see, I know what's going to happen in the middle. I've seen this 10 times, 20 times. I've seen this movie over and over again. I know what's happening at the end. I know what's going to happen to you. I'd like to tell you what's going to happen. And maybe you did. Maybe you tried to tell this person or warn them or something. But I don't think they listened to you because they wanted to be with them. So there's that feeling. There's all that, horrible feeling that that they were doing the same thing to someone else that they did to you. And I think also watching that, sitting back and seeing that, whether it was on social media or wherever it was, it kind of made you relive all that again. So I can see why you'd want to be angry, or why you'd want some kind of revenge. Maybe not just revenge. It might just be that, you want things evened up. You felt like, they got away with this. It's not fair. I want to even up the score. All of that time, all that kind of thing. And, you've got... the Justice card here. right up in the top in the middle. So that's what you wanted. You wanted justice. You wanted to even up the score. So I'm getting that. But now, that you've got this Hermit card here, you can see he's turning his back on that now. So I think now you've gotten through that. You've gotten over that. You don't want justice anymore. You don't care. You don't care what they do. You don't care what they say. Whatever they're doing to anyone else, that's their problem. They're not going to listen to you anyway. Even if you went and said to them, look, this horrible person's going to do this to you, they've done it to me, they'd never listen. So there's no point. So I think you're realizing that now. If that's you, you're like this Hermit. You're turning your back on all that drama, and you're just keeping to yourself. You have to focus on yourself now. And I think that's what you're doing. That's what I'm seeing there. And, you've got the Death card here as well, right under this. So it's the end. It's the finish. You're not thinking about this person anymore. You're not going to entertain them anymore. You're not going to even put them in your head anymore. You're closing the door on this. You're letting go of this. So, you've done this. You're doing this in your mind now. I think what happened was you shut the door on them physically, or you left them physically, or you moved away physically. But because you're sitting and watching this like a movie, obviously you were still watching what was happening. You were either watching them on social media, or you were thinking about this, seeing all this happen. And now you've closed the door on this totally. That's what I'm getting here. If that's you, you might have blocked them. You might have hidden them on social media, or you're just not going there anymore. And the big thing is, you're not going there in your heart anymore, because you can walk away from someone and still not have walked away in your heart. And I think that's how you were for a while. But now you've walked away in your heart now. So this is the start of this big shift for you, walking away from this old energy, totally walking away from that. Getting that rest, if that's you with the Hermit card, getting that time to yourself, focusing on yourself, and letting these new ideas come in for this new direction for you. Really, really, really amazing. And I think what's happening with you, and I saw this in Aries as well, you're doing this now, you're in this mode now, so that you can prepare for what's happening to you next year. So you're preparing, you're getting this time to yourself, you're letting this new direction come in, you're ready to open up for what's coming next year. Lots and lots of new things are coming in for you, lots of changes. I'm seeing a total change with you. You're really going to change your whole life, if that's you. And this is what you're preparing for. And again, sometimes you have to go through the worst to get to the best. And I think that's what's been happening with you, if that's you. Yeah, absolutely focusing on yourself now. I love this. Right, so the first card you've got for your presence is this Justice card. Okay, before I say anything about this, I don't know if this has anything to do with this illness that I was seeing before, because I was seeing some kind of lots and lots of stress. I was seeing some kind of physical illness with some people. With other people, it might be just a mental problem. Doesn't mean that there's something serious happening. It could just be depression or stress or something like that around you. I'm literally getting this for someone. I'm getting head pain, so headaches, migraines, all that kind of thing. Literally, holding your head, lying down, shutting your eyes, all that kind of thing without stress. Now, yeah, I don't like talking about, health kind of issues, because I'm not a doctor and I don't take my word for this. But this is what I'm getting. It feels like a stress cycle. So what I mean by that is, you've got all this stress in your head and stress in your life and all that. And you're in the process of untangling that now, which is what I'm getting in the Hermit card. But it's like you've got this stress, and that brings on the pain of the headaches or whatever it is. And then the pain brings on the stress. So it's like a cycle. It's cycling around. That's what I'm getting. And yeah, you've got the Nine of Swords down there. And the poor woman, she's literally holding her head in her hands, and she's got swords going through her head. So, if that's you, go and get some kind of treatment, obviously. Again, I'm not a doctor. It does feel stress related, because I was getting a lot of stress in the Hermit card, and you're obviously working through all that. It's a process. it's a process to get rid of that old stress. So take action on that if you need to. Try and, go to a doctor if you need to, whatever you need to do. Because for these ideas to come in, for the new ideas to come in, the new direction to come in, you're going to have a clear head. So if that means meditation, if it means sleeping, if it means walking around in nature, or if it means going to the doctor, you might have to do that. Whatever it takes, just follow your feelings, follow your head, follow your heart, follow your instincts. Whatever you feel you need to do, you do. And you'll get to the end of this process. But you must take action if you are having any kind of physical pain like that, because it's affecting your mental health, and it's affecting your ability to start this process or get down the road with this process if that's you. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Right, so I'm looking at the King of Cups now. It feels a little bit claustrophobic, actually. Yeah, the thing is, there's emotion all over this card. It's all around this king. The water's all around him everywhere. But he doesn't look very emotional to me. He's a bit emotionless, actually. And, his face is totally blank. We can't see what he's thinking. So I actually think this might be how someone sees you right now. There's someone around you, and it looks like they're trying to come in. They're trying to talk to you. They want you. They want to be with you. There's lots of passion there. Might be a friends with benefits kind of thing, because I'm not seeing a lot of stability here. I'm just seeing someone coming in and trying to kind of be with you in that way. So yeah, I'm getting this is what I'm getting. I'm getting passion coming from them, but it's not coming from you. It's absolutely not coming from you. You're like this King of Cups here, and you're passionate with the right person. But I think if you're single, this is if you're single, obviously, you're only going to accept passion if it comes with stability from now on. I think that's how you're feeling now, because you've been through all that. You've been through all that in the past. You've been through the passion without the stability. And I think at one time you would have gone for this. You would have gone for the passion. You would have gone for the person in the hope that eventually you'll get the stability. And you've been through that a few times, I think, and it's never come. So now you're like, no, I'm not going to fall for that anymore. I'm putting the stability first. I'm not falling into passion. I'm not letting my heart fall into that. And then when I know I'm not getting what I want, it's too late. I've already fallen. My heart's broken. That's not going to happen to me again. Stability comes before any of that. And I'm really looking to see whether, that's coming with this. And I think with this person who wants passion with you, there isn't that there. And I think you know that. You absolutely, I'm literally getting this. Been there, done that. I've offered myself to people. I've given my all to people. I haven't got them what I wanted. So I'm not giving them what they want. So that's what I'm getting now. And that's the horn telling you. So, right, so yeah, this is really interesting. Look at this. This is really interesting. You've got this king here, and he's right in the middle, and it looks like he's looking right over into the Lovers card. And you've got this naked couple here, and he's not reacting. He's not reacting. He's just sitting there, passionless. So, because that's all he can see. He can only see the passion. This isn't the Ace of Pentacles he's looking at. He's looking at the Lovers. So, not interested. That's not what you want. You deserve more than that. That's what I'm getting there. And they're not right for you. Yeah, you're holding back. You're holding back. You're waiting for the right one. I think the right one's there, actually. I think you might know who this is, if that's you. I'm just getting that feeling there. The right person's ahead of you. I can see that. The right person's ahead of you. You might know who they are. And you're being told to wait. This isn't the right one. The right one's up ahead. That's what I'm getting. I think that's what you're thinking. And it's all over this reading. Rest. Take your time. Meditate. Prepare for the right things to come in. That's what you're doing. That's why you're saying no to this. You're preparing for the right one to come in when it comes to love as well. This is is what I'm getting. When you're strong, when you're yourself, when you've been through all that, when you've processed all the old problems, when you've gotten through that, you've gotten through the headaches, you've come out the other side, that's when you'll be ready. That's when you'll be ready for them. Okay, I don't know if you should say this because it's quite specific, but yeah, I will. I'm going to say this. It's for someone. I'm going to say this. This is for someone. Just warning you, this is specific. Okay, I'm getting a place. Now, it feels like you were there, you're in this place. It feels very foreign to you. So it might be a foreign country, a different country, or it might just be a place that feels foreign to you, very, very different to you. There's someone that's in this place. They live in this place, so they might be far away from you. They might not be, but it's a different place to where you are. I think your special person's in that place, if you know who that is. Yeah, I'm getting dreams for someone. You might have dreamt about this person in this place, or just dreamt about them. And yeah, this is probably going to sound a bit crazy, but just bear with me. Someone's coming out of the dream. Someone's coming out of the memories, beautiful dreams. Someone's coming out of that and they're coming into reality. They're going to come into your reality. Whoever you're dreaming about, if that's you, they're coming out of that and they're coming into your reality. And I just want you to see this again. The King of Cups, you're coming up as this King of Cups. And you're looking across to the Lovers card here, to the right of that. And what I'm seeing with these lovers they're actually coming out of the clouds. Look at the clouds behind them, I should say. So he's looking at that. He's dreaming about that. He's not taking any of the water around him. He's not taking any of the passion, any of the emotion that's around him. Because what's around him, he doesn't want that. What he does want is what's in his dreams. And the love with this very special person, they're coming out of the dream, they're coming out of your dreams, and they're coming into your life. I know that sounds crazy. That's what I'm seeing. I've never seen that before, that combination there. First time I've seen that. So this is what you've been preparing for. This is why other relationships haven't worked for you, because this is the dream. This is the real thing. This is coming for you. You're preparing for this. You've been letting the old energies go. And yeah, I think the big thing here is, what's really interesting here is, you're preparing for what's right for you. And the focus is on you. The focus is on you. What's best for you. How you see yourself. You're not focusing on love. You might be dreaming about this person, but you're not saying, I'm going to go through this process of meditation and change and all that because I want love. No, you're going through this process because you want you. You're finding yourself first. And when you've done that, that's when this love is going to come into you. It's really interesting. The King of Cups is in the center. The Lovers isn't in the center. The focus is on you. And if the focus is on you, that's when the love comes in. That's what I'm getting. And it happens all the time. It happens all the time. If you're focusing on someone, if you're chasing them, if you're trying to, what's the word? Manifest. If you're trying to manifest them into your life really hard and you think, oh, if I think about them 20 times a day, no, you've got to focus on you. You've got to focus on your life. That's when they'll come in. That's what I'm seeing happening here. Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And again, I think you know who this is. Very, very, very special person in your life. They're coming up in your life. Probably, I know you don't want to hear this, probably early next year they're coming in, because that's when all these big changes are coming. That's what you're preparing for. I know you're probably groaning, I can't wait until next year. Yes, you can, because you need to wait until next year. You're not ready for them right now. If you're having all these headaches, if you're having all these problems, if you're getting through all that, if you're making all these changes, you're not ready for them right now. But you will be when you're at the end of this process. That's when they're going to come in. That's when I'm seeing that. Beautiful, beautiful, special person. That's why nothing else has worked for you in love. because you're waiting for this very, very special person. Okay, I just want to say this quickly before I go on, before I move on to the future. I just want to say this for someone. This is specific, just warning you again. Okay, so if you've got a family member who is, there's some kind of addiction problem around them. So if that's you, if you know who that is, it can be any addiction, doesn't have to be a drug addiction, it can be any kind of addiction that they're struggling with. Now, what I'm getting right now is for them is this person's not around you, they're away from you, you might be worrying about them. Now, they're not in physical danger, I'm not getting that. They're struggling internally right now. So I don't want to tell you what to do. You know what's best to do with this person. Sometimes if you step in and help, it could be counterproductive for people who are going through things like this. You know, sometimes the best thing is to just let go and let them go through this themselves. Sometimes it isn't. It depends on the situation, and I can't see the specifics of this here. All I can see is there's someone away from you. It feels like a family member. They're struggling with some kind of addiction issue or problem or something like that, if that's you. And they would appreciate some kind of help right now. They're not struggling physically. They're not in danger. They're struggling internally, emotionally. So if you feel as if you're not the right person to help them, you might want to step in, you might want to get some kind of organization to come in and help them. You might know somewhere or something else that can help them. Do whatever you think you need to do in this case. So that's what I'm getting now with that for someone. Right, okay, so the first card you've got for your future is the Star, and a siren's going past. So yeah, beautiful card. Again, very, very spiritual card. I don't want to repeat myself, but I'm seeing this whole thing again here in this sequence here in your future. So again, you're in preparation. You're in preparation for next year. You're in preparation for this big change, all these big changes that are happening in your life. Work changes, self changes, I'm seeing appearance changes for someone as well, confidence changes, love changes. At the moment, you're preparing for that. And preparation for you, a lot of people think, oh, preparation, that means I have to run around doing things. No, preparation for you is what's happening in this card. You know, she's by herself, she's getting that time to think, she's in nature, she's resting, she's just washing herself, she's taking care of herself. So, yeah, it's a really interesting sequence, this actually, because you've got the Lovers kind of sandwiched in the middle of these two very spiritual cards here. So, yeah, you're on the spiritual path, you're on this road, you're on the right road, whatever that is. Meditation, anything that you can do that gives you rest, you need to do, whatever that is for you. And again, that's when the love is going to open up for you, when you've taken that spiritual path. And for you, it might not be that easy to rest, and I think that's why I was getting lots of headaches and stress and all that around you, because it's not easy for you to do that. You might be the kind of person that struggles to meditate. I used to be the same. I used to start laughing when I meditated. But I don't do that anymore. I can do that. So it might be something you have to practice. It might be something you have to keep on working at and practicing. Or it might be that meditation's not right for you. It might just be walking in nature, walking in the park, watching a movie, anything that just lets your head rest, you need to do. So think about what all that is. Get that rest in your head. Get rid of all those swirling thoughts that are going around in your head. That's really all I have to say here, because it's really just repeating what I was seeing. The spiritual path is leading you to love. The spiritual path is leading you to everything you need. It's leading to the manifestation. So there's nothing more I really need to say here, really. It's all really been said. So I'll just finish there, really. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful reading. Absolutely beautiful, life-changing reading. Life-changing reading for you. And it's all going to take place in the new year. This is what you're preparing for now.